The newest revelations for the bold and the beautiful point to one of the most heated love triangles returning to the forefront, with Bill Spencer positioning himself at the center of the storm as he pushes his son, Liam Spencer, to take bold action before it is too late. For months, Hope Logan has been trying to move forward with Carter Walton, even accepting his proposal and preparing for a future filled with stability and commitment. Yet the undeniable chemistry and deep-rooted history between Hope and Liam cannot be buried. They have been through too much together, their daughter Beth, their years of family entanglements, their countless heartbreaks and reconciliations, for their story to be considered closed. And now, with Bill watching closely, the question of Hope's future is once again up for grabs. The core of the drama begins with Liam's conflicted emotions. When he believed he was dying, he encouraged Hope to find happiness with Carter. His reasoning wasn't rooted in love for Carter, but in his fear of leaving Hope alone when his time ended. He wanted to secure her happiness, to make sure she had someone dependable by her side once he was gone. He gave Carter his blessing and even pushed Hope in his direction. But now that Liam knows he has a long future ahead, everything is different. The very foundation of his decision has collapsed, leaving him face to face with feelings he can no longer deny. Hope was there for him throughout his darkest days, unwavering in her support, showing him what real loyalty and love looks like. That devotion has reminded Liam of the powerful bond they still share, a bond he realizes he may never find with anyone else. Liam, however, is cautious. He knows Hope is officially engaged to Carter, and he doesn't want to ruin their friendship by acting out of turn. He has convinced himself that Hope's chance for happiness lies with Carter because he does not want to be the man who sabotages her future once again. Liam has a long history of wavering between women, of breaking promises, of repeating cycles that have cost him the trust of both Hope and Steffi. The thought of trying again with Hope terrifies him because he knows how fragile her heart already is. If he steps forward and she rejects him, he risks losing her not only as a romantic partner, but also as a friend and co-parent. This is where Bill Spencer steps in. Bill sees the subtle changes in Liam, the way his eyes linger on Hope, the way his tone softens when he talks about her, the way he tries but fails to hide the longing that still simmers beneath the surface. Bill, never one to sit back when there's a chance to go on the offensive, decides to intervene. He has always been a man of decisive action, and he pushes Liam to do the same. Bill tells his son that he cannot let Hope slip away without a fight, that Carter is not the man Hope is meant to be with, that Liam has a chance to reclaim the life he once had with her and Beth if he is willing to take it. Bill's words are direct, unapologetic, and impossible for Liam to ignore. Bill reminds Liam that he has learned a valuable lesson in recent months. Life is too short to wait, too unpredictable to waste on hesitation. Liam faced the possibility of death and came through it alive, stronger, and with clarity. Now he has to use that clarity to pursue what he truly wants. And what Liam truly wants deep down is hope. Bill encourages him to stop overthinking, to stop doubting, and to go after her with everything he has before Carter seals the deal permanently. The tension builds as Liam wrestles with his options. On one hand, he feels obligated to respect Hope's current path, to honor her engagement, and to avoid creating another scandal that would shatter trust. On the other hand, the idea of standing aside, watching Hope marry Carter, and spending the rest of his life wondering what could have been is unbearable. Bill's pressure intensifies, planting the idea that Liam should not only confess his feelings, but make a grand gesture, perhaps even propose to Hope himself before she and Carter can make their vows official. Hope, meanwhile, senses the shift. Though she is still wearing Carter's ring, she cannot deny the pull she feels toward Liam. Their moments together carry a weight that Carter cannot match. Hope has seen Liam at his weakest. She has stood by him when others faltered, and she has always known that a part of her heart will belong to him no matter what. The more time she spends with him, the harder it becomes to ignore that truth. Carter offers her safety, but Liam offers her history, passion, and the possibility of reuniting the family she once believed was lost forever. Carter, oblivious to the storm brewing around him, continues to plan his future with Hope. He believes their engagement is secure, that Hope has chosen him, that the ghosts of her past with Liam have finally been buried. He even begins to discuss solidifying their union, talking about wedding dates and business proposals that would tie their lives together even more. But Carter may not realize that his biggest rival isn't Thomas or any other man from Hope's past. It's Liam, who is poised to re-enter the game with Bill's full backing. Beth Spencer, though still young, also plays a role in this emotional tug-of-war. For Liam, the thought of reuniting with Hope isn't just about romance, it's about family. It's about giving Beth the home she deserves, with both parents together, building the life they once dreamed of before everything fractured. The image of Hope, Liam, and Beth together again is powerful, and it fuels Liam's growing determination to step in before Carter claims the future Liam still believes should be his. As the weeks unfold, the storyline intensifies. Liam opens up to Bill about his lingering love for Hope, admitting that part of him never stopped loving her and never will. Bill pushes harder, telling him that Hope's engagement to Carter isn't set in stone, that there is still time to act, that he must seize the moment before it's gone forever. Bill encourages Liam to be bold, to embrace the Spencer mentality of going after what you want at any cost. This sets the stage for an inevitable showdown. Carter believes he is on the cusp of securing Hope's hand in marriage. Hope is torn between two men who offer her very different futures. Liam, emboldened by his father's advice and his own rediscovered sense of purpose, prepares to make his move. And Bill, ever the strategist, watches from the sidelines, ready to push his son into the spotlight at the exact moment it will create the most impact. The big question now is whether Liam will take the leap. Will he walk into Hope's life once again with a proposal that forces her to confront her true feelings? Will Hope break Carter's heart and reunite with Liam, giving Beth the family she longs for? Or will she resist the pull of her past and remain committed to the man who has offered her nothing but loyalty and devotion? The spoilers make it clear that a major shift is coming. Liam is set to reevaluate everything he thought he knew about his future, and Bill's influence will be impossible to ignore. With Carter unaware of the storm bearing down on him and Hope caught between history and stability, the stage is set for one of the most dramatic twists yet. Fans will need to watch closely in the coming weeks, because Liam Spencer may be ready to risk everything for the love of Hope Logan, and if he does, nothing in Los Angeles will ever be the same again. Thomas's return in early September hit like a thunderclap, the kind that splits skies and fractures hearts. No warning, no flourish. One day he was gone, and the next, he stood again at Forrester Creations, eyes stormy, purpose sharp, every step measured. He walked into Hope's orbit with the single-minded precision of a chess master moving his queen into position. At once, old wounds reopened, Steffi's heartbreak, Ridge's betrayal, Brooke's distrust, and new fissures began to spread. Into that electric moment came Daphne. Radiant, unassuming, a gentle presence that masked ambition, she stepped into Thomas's plan effortlessly. Their alliance was silent, unspoken in polite society, but pulsing with intent. She met him in shadows behind the Forrester conference room, under the hum of fluorescent lights, conspiratorial gazes exchanged over cups of lukewarm coffee. Her smile, innocent, warm, concealed deadly intent. Thomas leaned close. "You know what to do," he said. No statement, but suffice, she knew. And just like that, the poison began to drip. Carter and Hope were a beautiful couple alight in designs, in charity events, in runway shows, their love public, subtle, but shining. They held hands at Forrester launches, whispered through run-throughs, protected each other in the cut and thrust of business. So Thomas's plan had to be flawless, undetectable, surgical. Daphne, with her quiet voice and sympathetic ear, got close to Hope. "You okay?" she'd ask. "You seem distant from Carter." She'd slip in the seed. "Maybe he's stressed. Maybe you can give him space." It sounded caring, but Thomas was there, directing from the shadows, feeding Daphne details. An overheard argument, a glance Carter gave Hope that lingered too long on fashion sketches, a text Hope answered coldly. The next step pulled Carter into the fracture. Hope noticed his distant tone. At a champagne toast for a new gown launch, she watched him, his smile polite, eyes flicking to his phone. "Everything all right?" she asked later, soft concern. "Fine," he said vaguely, tension in his throat. Thomas had encouraged Daphne to prod Carter too. "You look edgy." "What's going on with Hope?" A message here, an offhand remark there, twisting perception both ways. Then came the social event that tilted everything. An exclusive Forrester, Spectra mixer, full of fashion glitter, spotlight, champagne sparkle. Carter and Hope arrived together, but Daphne intercepted Hope, wink, laugh. "I'm so sorry about Carter," she said. "He's been awkward, hasn't he?" Hope frowned, confused. Carter across the room said nothing but touched his phone, eyes darting. She left him momentarily to find him on the balcony, cold night air. "What's wrong?" she demanded. He mumbled about deadline stress. "You never talk to me," she replied, wounded. He turned away. That silence echoed. Thomas was backstage orchestrating, Daphne slipping more whispers. "Maybe you're better off apart." It was during the runway show that the explosion happened. Models cascading in layers of silk, lights gleaming, music building. Hope watched mesmerized until Carter, behind her, accidentally brushed her shoulder as he passed. She recoiled instinctively. A whisper, "What was that for?" He stumbled, trying to explain, words caught. Daphne was by Hope's side almost at once. "You okay?" Hope gave her a tight smile. Carter watched this exchange with rising panic. The audience waited. The show culminated in thunderous applause, but for a fraction, Hope and Carter were islands, drifting. That night, Hope lay awake in readiness to confront him, but he vanished into late-night calls. Thomas lurked in the background of her mind. Daphne texted, "You're strong. Trust your instincts." As Hope scrolled, anxiety bloomed. She called Carter. "Where are you?" Her voice cracked. No answer. Thomas grinned in private, knowing the seed had sprouted. The next day, Carter confronted her in the design studio. "Hope, I'm sorry. I got called into a meeting." But she had seen the text from Daphne under Carter's phone. Maybe give her space. Carter denied sending it. Hope's eyes filled. She slapped him. "Don't gaslight me," she said, and walked out. The gallery, the mannequins, the sketches, they watched in silence as romance cracked. Meanwhile, Thomas moved in. He pulled Ridge aside. "I worry about Hope." "Carter isn't good enough," he said, genuine concern on a too-perfect face. Ridge frowned. "Don't do this." But Thomas waved him off. Then he whispered to Brooke, "Hope needs fashion's wild heart. Carter tames her." He leaned in like a confidant. Brooke looked at him uncertainly, but Hope was slipping. Daphne kept close. "You deserve better." Hope, lonely and raw, found solace in her. Meanwhile, Carter, isolated and hurt, considered confronting Thomas. Finally, one afternoon in Ridge's office, Carter hissed, "Why is Thomas always breathing down my neck? And what about Daphne? She's always with Hope." Ridge said nothing. Carter stormed out, suspicion gnawing. The turning point, Hope, breaking down in the Forrester Design Lounge, told Daphne everything, how Carter had become distant, forgetful, cold. Daphne patted her shoulder. "Maybe it's not you." And she added, "People change." Hope stared at that phrase as if it was etched on her soul. In that instant, she decided she would walk away. Carter found Hope packing her bag in the guest suite. "Hope, what's happening?" he asked. She said nothing, tears sliding. Daphne entered, arms open. "Need a friend?" she offered. Carter plunged into desperation. He burst into Ridge's office. "Help me fix this." Ridge sighed. "Try talking." But words alone wouldn't reach Hope now. Thomas watched the drama roll forward like an actor savoring the scene. Days passed. Hope and Daphne spent mornings at the design table. Carter appeared, awkward attempts. "I missed you." She looked at him blankly. He said too much, then nothing. Daphne gave that look, hidden empathy, and Thomas watched Hope's defenses crumble just a touch. On one late night, Hope stood on the Forrester balcony, looking out over the city lights. Thomas approached. She startled. He looked so calm. "Hope," he said, tone so earnest it hurt. "You and Carter, you need space to breathe. Sometimes love isn't enough when hearts aren't aligned." He'd planned these words carefully. She stared. She listened. Carter, watching through the glass inside, felt every word like a blow. Then came the breakup, inevitable but wrenching. At a quiet, empty Forrester studio, Hope told Carter, "I can't do this." Her voice a whisper, but resolute. Carter lunged. "Hope, please." She held up her hand. "I'm tired of being second, of being unloved," and walked away. Daphne, waiting outside, enveloped her in tears and comfort. Thomas observed from the corridor, expression unreadable, but inside, fists clenched in victory. Days later, the Helmer suite, Thomas moves in, careful light on his face. He texts Daphne, "It's done." She replies, she's vulnerable. Hand in hand, they stand over Hope's sketches and heartbreak. Carter, meanwhile, is spiraling, calling, pleading, but Hope stays away. Thomas rises at dawn for new plans. Daphne smiles faint, dangerous. The drama of early September flared, Thomas's return, Daphne's infiltration, the fracture of Carter and Hope. The plan had worked. But just when every heart thought it was over, a tremor. Hope pauses, memories of Carter at midnight, his apology that followed, a moment of real tenderness they once shared. But Thomas and Daphne are plotting tomorrow, the day after, to deepen the wedge, to entangle Hope further. Because drama never ends, and neither does ambition.